Hey guys, happy Saturday. Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. I saw this thread and immediately wanted to share it with you. I know, I'm assuming everybody and their grandma is already sharing this around. This is a thread by Mickey B. Fresh. Now, what's interesting is, of course, when you take into consideration SBI, R3 with Corda, Ripple, all of these groups, even employees of Ripple, Jess Chang going to the IMF, working with the Fed, all of the connections. Obviously, you understand that there are thousands of coincidences, and that is what I bet on in this space. So again, Mr. Fresh Time has a YouTube channel. Highly recommend. I'm going to go through this thread, show some video clips of, as we can see, head of compliance at Polysign. Now we know Polysign, standard custody, all of these groups are huge, essentially turnkey solutions, especially when you incorporate Interledger, again, the protocol, the ledger, XRP ledger, the native asset, XRP. So keep an open mind here. Obviously, do your own research. Take everything I share here with a grain of salt, but keep in mind they are speaking at the International Monetary Fund. So obviously, some of the most high caliber people that you can, imagine in the space, specifically about crypto assets and central bank digital currencies, security and custody. If obviously the infrastructure is not there to secure, process transactions, provide actual institutional custody and storage and assurance that these assets are safe, can be tracked, are private to some extent, institutions are not going to flood in. If you watched my previous video yesterday on that old clip of State Street from October of 2019, again, I shared that video on my second channel yesterday. I think you guys understand that's already 1/3 of the world's electronic wealth, so I think we can see where this is all going. So listen up.
Multi-sig software solutions to hold their funds. They want to have a qualified custodian to protect and safeguard their assets. Central banks wishing to issue their own digital currency will have to give serious consideration to custody solutions. How are they going to maintain and safeguard those funds from attack? You need a sophisticated multi-sig ceremony, and when I say a ceremony, I really do mean it is a ceremony amongst many, many people with a very sophisticated key generation mechanism. It's not a trivial matter. And possibly maybe using something kind of escrow solution that Ripple, similar to the one Ripple announced in late 2017. So many people.
And remember, if you just go to Polysign's website again, and not only look at Arthur Brito or what's this woman's name, something O'Gorman. I'll show it below. But when you guys go on the website and you see who's backing, the companies and how much money they've even managed, let alone, I think this should speak volumes. All right, so we'll keep going. I just want to read a few quotes that he shares here. So right here, yep, Antoinette. So an incredible experience being part of the International Monetary Fund's flagship Law and Financial Stability Seminar as a panel speaker. Private crypto assets and central bank issued digital currency, again, DLT, experiences from Ripple, payments, etc. So she is the chief compliance officer over at Polysign. You can see right here, again, Arthur Brito. This is on polysign.io. Let me go to the website real quick just to show you what I was referring to, if I have a sec. .io. And essentially, let's see if I can even find these guys. Tim Keeney is somebody to look at. Obviously, it's our guy David Schwartz, Jack McDonald, but look at the background of these guys and how much money, they are even just working with. Custodying 25% of global institutional assets. Now, there's many assets in crypto that I have my eye on, and I'll go over more projects in the future, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on XRP in particular because it's what I'm most excited for. I think that, payments are one of the most obvious use cases initially, and I don't think that, 8 years of building the XRP ledger and even obviously investments in seed funding rounds dating back from early 2004 is a coincidence. All right, so we got Arthur Brito as well. You understand that, one of the co-designers of the XRPL, proprietary blockchain technology, 3rd generation blockchain tech. All right, all about infrastructure, the plumbing again. Right here, we can see here as well, seeing her position at Ripple as the chief compliance officer. You can talk about oversight for BSA, AML, OFAC, excuse me. We got FinCEN, remember, even, the previous lawsuits early on, New York Department of Financial Services, SEC, CFTC, all right, market manipulation. She'll even talk about crypto arbitrage as well, compared to the stock market, obviously. Listen to this clip now, and she's going to talk about private ledgers for these institutions as well.
Typically, off-ledger exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges are typically they trade off ledger, meaning they trade off of the blockchain. They have their own private ledger, their own private database, and their customers trade on that database. They can jump on and off the protocol, but they're generally doing it on a private ledger. So market manipulation practices that we see in traditional markets today are also happening in cryptocurrency markets, but maybe many would say at an accelerated pace. They're often conducted on private databases, and central banks would have to consider that as well. Are you going to allow for off-ledger trading of the digital currency that is issued by central banks?
And again, I remember all the FUD going on and most people not having any understanding of the XRP ledger itself. There is literally a finite amount of XRP, and when the floodgates open, it will be a flood. Maybe we will see some trickle flood, and that is a quote, again, from State Street. All right, keep going.
Very interesting piece here. Stock exchange companies today have departments of people that are responsible for the collection and understanding of information about companies whose stocks are traded on their exchange. That's to reduce the likelihood of some kind of financial fraud, like back in the days of Enron, WorldCom, that type of thing. In contrast, proper curation of crypto is sorely lacking. We do not have that today. Traditional stock trading companies are subjected to rigorous review of their finances and trading capabilities before they're allowed to trade on stock exchanges or before they're allowed to link their internal trading systems to a stock exchange order matching engine. That is not the case with cryptocurrency today. With crypto, your prices can fluctuate between exchanges all over the world. Again, not so.
And that's obviously a huge arbitrage opportunity for trading bots, some retailers. The stock market is a little bit different.
With your traditional stock trading. And as we covered earlier on the blockchain, there are no third parties available to help you re-establish ownership of your stocks should you lose your secret key. There is no DTCC, there is no broker-dealer to help you.
And remember, DTCC, former president, I believe also CTO, Don Donahue. Well, what did he do after he left being president of an institution that sends over $2 quadrillion a year? Well, funny enough, he became chairman of RippleNet, but I'm sure that's just another coincidence.
Get your funds.
All right, we'll keep going.
There are various different ways of doing it. The main thing here is that cryptocurrency trading and cryptocurrency exchanges are largely unregulated today. So the market manipulation practices that happen in today's stock markets are happening maybe times 10 in cryptocurrency markets.
I believe it.
Everybody's taking full advantage of it until we have regulation surrounding it. And my very last slide here.
And also just kind of my opinion, I think a lot of people think this. People are saying that prices will not move until regulation comes, but my personal belief is that prices are going to move substantially. Every day people are going to think it's just speculation or a temporary bull run, and then institutions will come in, and then we'll get another bull run. So I think that previous, that speculation bull run, we might see that mini bull run, or potentially what we're seeing now is actually the institutions getting their feet wet, and I'm just waiting for them to jump into the deep end. All right, so a few more screenshots, guys, and we'll call it a day. So Mickey B. Fresh sharing this. It seems that Interledger FX Inc. was the original name for Polysign Inc. back in 2017. Sounds a lot like Currency Exchange. Now remember, guys, XRP, that old document. It might not be a coincidence, or I mean, it's a coincidence. It might not mean anything, but remember XRP, they were talking about settling with multiple currencies, and they literally said the acronym for XRP, that International Monetary Fund document we shared, says Exchange Rate Peg. Well, funny enough, they created this whole protocol to essentially do this for multi-currency swaps, and it's very, very coincidental. They were meeting with the Federal Reserve within 1 or 2 months of being founded and the XRP ledger getting started, and they have this escrow amount, the 50 billion set aside, smart contract lock. I wholeheartedly believe there is a high probability for success in this ecosystem. All right, the XRP ledger is an on-ledger foreign exchange real-time gross settlement currency exchange. Just a reminder for everyone. So Arthur Brito again, president for Interledger FX Inc. Right out of Oakland, California. You guys can see all of this. Interledger, now Polysign. All right, you can see the date updated daily. All right. Interledger, you will help architect and build a world-class web front end for the Interledger FX financial services platform, which enables fast and efficient payments around the globe. Now, when you consider this, obviously, look at the other groups as well. Look at Earthport and Visa. Look at, MasterCard. Even additional news with the crypto debit cards. If any of this happened in 2017, people would have went berserk. But after this 2-year bear market, everybody's, energy, confidence, faith has been worn down and destroyed. And this is the perfect time to launch something because people will not believe their eyes. So, live updates, feature charting. All right. Something to watch. Absolutely. So, architect and build, produce a world-class service, mobile applications. All right, we'll keep going. I believe, is there any more clips? Oh, right here. So, referencing Bob Way, again, one of the first employees of Ripple. He used to be a little more chatty with the XRP community. It was really awesome. I always appreciated his point of view. So, listen to this. They're very relevant after the recent OCC announcement that banks have the green light to custody crypto assets. Well, who made that prediction that banks would be custodying crypto assets? Brad Garlinghouse. Was he a year off? Yeah. But guess what? The fact that he made that bold prediction, I think that, that holds some weight for his other predictions as well. And I think we remember some of those. All right. And guys, there's people in this community I absolutely respect, but they didn't think we were going to get this regulation for another 5 years, and then they'll call me hype. Look what is happening. We have Brian Brooks, guys. It's just ridiculous that people, when you're so conservative, you're going to cut yourself short as well, or sell yourself short. All right, right here. This is Bob Way, by the way, just some famous quotes by him. He's done, video interviews with some people in the XRP community, was active on Twitter, things of that nature. So I think Polysign is really and he has NDAs, so he can't really go into too much depth or detail and can't answer everything, cannot speculate on price per se. Again, that is literally, illegal for Ripple employees to kind of speculate and hype the market for XRP. So I think Polysign is really big for the XRP ledger and ILP interledger protocol RippleNet components as well. I'm not sure what features they've implemented for working with other coins or contract code. Right here, talking about the gateways that Mickey B. Fresh always references. Keeping that money safe requires scrupulous security practices related to the XRP ledger secrets and ILP transaction signing keys. Institutions like these need to protect those keys and secrets. I mean, you can literally just pick like a random RippleNet partner and you're already looking at millions of dollars per second being transacted. So they have to be, these transactions need to be signed, they need to be secure, they need to be private and be able to scale. All right, the XRP ledger's multi-sign feature, however, the same concepts apply to ILP components. Again, ILP being distributed, built upon by groups like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Right here, so poly many, so it seems reasonable to say that Polysign is an institutional solution for managing multi-sig, signature keys, and likely also for authorizing and signing a high volume of XRP ledger and ILP-based transactions. Remember, these technologies inherently pick the fastest payment path. They can stream payments, they can break them down into batches, things of that nature. This is truly the future. This is the internet of value rather than transferring, data. We already have the internet of information. It's time for value to catch up, and everything will be tokenized. This asset class is going to swallow all others. All right, once you've convinced the banks and other institutions that using the XRP ledger is a good idea, and guys, it goes way beyond just XRP. Yes, XRP is always needed on the XRP ledger to some degree. The obvious, concern is we want it to be one of the main choices and advocates to send, but you can send any asset, you can tokenize anything upon the XRP ledger. That is something that is not available on every single blockchain or ledger. So then eventually the technical people come from those firms to start to ask how and for best practices. It seems to me Polysign has created a system that implements those best practices. Remember, XRP ledger, people are concerned about scalability, but you can create payment channels. You can do any of that. We can scale to the same throughput as Visa today. So that to me is just not a concern. All right. Just remember how deep Polysign goes. Obviously, the symbol for Polysign we all know, as we can see right here, simply kind of alluding to potentially solving the blockchain trilemma. As we know, again, decentralization, scalability, and security. You can't improve, one or two without losing, ground in the other. So something to keep in mind. Go ahead and look further into these groups. Again, polysign.io. You can also go to standard custody, do some research, find out the backing, look at what is occurring because Polysign is set to launch in 2020. So many people, including myself, are expecting crypto assets to explode this year. Remember what they said about 2020, expect the unexpected. As always, guys, always do your own research, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.